Since making protein the main focus of my diet, I have never felt better. I have energy, I feel strong, and as a mom of 2 little kids with another one on the way, I know how much eating enough protein really helps me through my day-to-day life. I aim for at least 120 grams per day. So today I'm going to share an example of what I eat in a day, and the total for this day was 136 grams. If you're new, I'm Erica. My husband Mark and I and our 2 kids live fully off-grid in Canada. We try to live a healthy and self-sufficient lifestyle, and that's what we share about in our videos. So I hope you'll subscribe to our channel. Okay, so I work out 3 mornings a week. And when I work out, I have a snack beforehand that I aim to get 10 to 15 grams of protein in. And on this day that I filmed, I did not work out. So the first thing I'm eating is breakfast. Breakfast is a meal that is almost exactly the same for me every day, and I don't mind that at all. I love it because it helps me to start off the day strong with a lot of protein, and I don't have to think about it. I'm not trying to be creative and make new things and come up with new ideas. So what I have is just 3 eggs. Of course, sometimes I switch up how I cook them, but I always have 3 eggs and about half a cup of uncooked oatmeal cooked. I am first cooking some sausages for my husband and kids because they regularly eat sausages, and I do sometimes too. Eating sausage or bacon or ham in the morning along with eggs is a really easy way to get more protein, but I just prefer not to, and I don't need to with the way I eat to reach my protein goals. So for the oatmeal specifically, I always add in about a tablespoon of chia seeds for some extra vitamins and some cinnamon for taste. And then I'll add either some cut up bananas or some blueberries for flavor. And I'm kind of weird. I put butter in my oatmeal and no sweetener. And I've just become accustomed to that. It's sweet enough for me just with the fruit. So like I said, I'll have 3 eggs and my daughters will each have 1. Eggs are one of my absolute favorite foods because they're just delicious. You can eat them in so many different ways, and they are a complete protein. They contain all the 9 essential amino acids, but not only that, they have many more nutrients like choline, fat, lots of vitamins and minerals. And 1 large egg has 6 to 7 grams of protein, so it adds up quickly if you eat a lot of eggs every day. So with eating the 3 eggs, I get about 18 grams of protein there, and then half a cup of dry oatmeal has about 5 grams of protein. So for breakfast, I'm getting about 23 grams of protein. I always add a sprinkle of bee pollen just for even more nutrients, and I like the taste, and that is my breakfast. As a wife and mom and the primary grocery shopper and cook in our family, I am basically in complete control of the quality of the ingredients and the food that I feed to myself and my family. And that role puts me in a position to directly impact their health, as well as mine, of course, for good or for bad. So I'm not perfect at it, but I really try to source high quality whole food ingredients to cook and bake with. For years, I have avoided toxic cookware as well, because I absolutely hate the idea of sourcing this high quality good food and just adding toxins back into it through the cooking process. That's why I'm so excited to introduce you to today's video sponsor, Caraway. Caraway makes high quality, non-toxic kitchen essentials that makes cooking so easy and honestly really beautiful. It all started when the founder of Caraway accidentally overheated a Teflon pan and got sick with Teflon flu. He learned that it takes only 2.5 minutes for a Teflon coated pan to reach 500 degrees, and that's the point where it will start to release toxic chemicals. And over 70% of frying pans in America contain Teflon. I recently learned that PFAs, which are the toxins released from Teflon cookware, have been found in the blood of a really large percentage of Americans. And PFAs are also known as forever chemicals because they remain in the body for years, even for decades. And they've been linked with many health concerns like cancer and reproductive and respiratory and immune issues. Nobody wants those. I love that Caraway's cookware is ceramic, so it's totally natural and free of toxins. That gives me so much peace of mind because I work really hard to make nourishing food for our family, and my cookware shouldn't be adding toxins and undoing all that work. The ceramic coating on the pots and pans is naturally nonstick, so you don't need much butter or oil at all, and the food just doesn't stick. It's great. This makes it so easy and fast to clean up, which as a busy mom, of course, I really appreciate. The cookware set also comes with these really handy magnetic pot and pan holders and a lid holder. So it's really easy to store these and they look so good all lined up together. If you're wanting to swap out your pans for a non-toxic alternative, check out Caraway. I'd recommend getting the cookware set since you'll save 20% by bundling. And if you use my discount code HOMEINTENT10, you will get an additional 10% off. You can also use that code site-wide to get a 10% discount on all of their products. Click the link in the description below or scan the QR code on the screen. And don't forget to screenshot my code to use at checkout. Thank you so much to Caraway for sponsoring today's video. With everything I eat, I try to make protein the focus. So when I have a snack, I'm not just having a piece of fruit or a couple of crackers or something. I always have something with protein. One of my favorite snacks is cottage cheese because I just love the taste. Half a cup of cottage cheese has about 14 grams of protein, and half a cup is really not that much. So it's easy to just sneak it in. And so that's what I'm having on this day for my morning snack. I'm adding a little bit of juice to it. Sometimes I add fruit, frozen berries, or whatever I've got on hand. But I had juice, so I add a splash of that just to make it fruity. This is homemade cottage cheese, if you're wondering why it looks a little bit different than the store-bought stuff. And it's so easy to make. I shared how I do it in a previous video. I'll link that here and down below. It's so easy and quick and fresh and better for you. So that's what I like to do. If you like to eat carbs like fruit or crackers for a snack, you don't have to necessarily stop doing that entirely. Just try to add something with protein to those foods like nut butter or hummus. It's just one extra little step that can help you reach your protein goals. Along with my morning snack, I always make an electrolyte drink. I did a whole video on this as well. I'll link that here, but it's very hydrating. I've never felt more hydrated than after I started drinking this drink regularly. It's also way cheaper than buying pre-made electrolyte drink mixes, so check out that video. If you're watching this because you're trying to feel more energized, especially without overhauling your whole life, you'll love my free workshop. It's all about super small, doable steps to feel better, even if you're busy and exhausted. So I'll link that below so you can check it out. We almost always have leftovers for lunch from dinner the night before. And this helps so much with protein intake because I'm not getting to lunchtime thinking, oh, what are we going to have? Well, I guess we'll have sandwiches, and we end up eating mostly carbs with a little bit of protein. Just a random side note, my husband and daughters went blueberry picking through the woods on our property this morning and brought a bunch home. So I'm just sampling a few while I'm making lunch because they're delicious and wild natural blueberries. So on this day for lunch, we had leftover beef and broccoli and rice from the night before. And so I calculated the amount of beef I had is about 28 grams of protein. From the broccoli, I got about 4 grams, and the rice, about 4 grams. So for a total of 36 grams of protein at lunch. If we happen to not have any leftovers for lunch, I have a couple of ideas that I have with things I have on hand, like tuna salad and chickpea or lentil based pasta that I can whip up really quickly so we still get a high protein lunch and it's easy to do and I already have everything ready to make it. Another really easy high protein snack is plain old cheese. And man, who doesn't just love to snack on cheese? It's yummy, it's creamy, it's delicious, and it is high in protein. So this block that I have here, the amount that I'm cutting, is about 14 or 15 grams of protein. And I also enjoy fruit, especially in the summertime. I've mentioned before, frozen grapes are a favorite of ours. They are cold and refreshing, so yummy on a hot summer day. I didn't end up filming dinner on this particular day, so I filmed it on another day. But honestly, every day is so similar. When I'm planning meals, I always start with planning the meat, the protein first, and then come up with the rest of it after. So first I'm seasoning some steaks with Montreal steak spice. And by the way, if you're a fan of steak, you don't need to buy steak already cut from the store. We get a big eye of round roast from Costco and cut it into steaks ourselves, and it's a lot cheaper that way. I'm going to barbecue these steaks and then make a topping that is new to me. I've never made this before, but it turned out really delicious. It's called gremolata, and I'll show you how to make that in a minute. All gremolata is fresh parsley, lemon zest, and minced garlic with a dash of olive oil. So you just cut up all your ingredients, mix them together, and top your steaks with them. And it's a really nice little addition that is really simple and easy to make. Along with the steaks, we are going to have some leftover cabbage salad. And I shared that recipe in another video as well, so I'll link that one too. It's a really nice one to make a big batch of ahead of time in the summer and just eat it as a side, for 3 or 4 days. And the longer it sits in the fridge, the better the flavors all meld together. So it's really nice to just pull out that quick side. And then we are going to have some sourdough bread with butter alongside, because that's a really nice side too. In the winter, I'll do a lot of roasted vegetables and steamed vegetables and things, but I try to avoid that in the summer, keep things cool and not cook as much. So the cabbage salad and the bread have pretty much no protein, and I will eat a 6-ounce steak, and that amounts to about 42 grams of protein. So that's what I'm going to be having at dinner time. Maybe you're watching this and thinking, yeah, this food looks good, but why should I even worry about getting enough protein? So let's talk about it. Protein is so essential for your body to function normally and for you to feel good and strong. Of course, we all know that it builds and maintains muscle. So that is really important, especially as we age. But it also boosts energy. It helps to stabilize your blood sugar, so you will have more consistent energy, and I've definitely found that to be true. Your brain also needs amino acids from protein. So the more protein you have, or as you have the optimal amount, you'll have better focus and your memory will be better. We also, I'm sure, all know that it helps to keep us full longer. It's the most satisfying macronutrient. So it helps to keep you fuller between meals and you won't be snacking and craving as much. And if you're pregnant like me, protein is essential for helping the baby to grow and develop normally all the organs, muscles, and of course the placenta. If you get enough protein, that also lowers the risk of complications. So that sounds good to me. Now I do have an evening snack as well. It's just one egg, so I figured you didn't need to see me do that. There are some supplements I take before bed that need to be taken with food. So I have been eating an egg, which is 6 grams of protein in the evening. That brought my total to 136 grams of protein. So I really hope this helped you to see that it's not actually that hard to eat a high protein diet and to get 120, 130 grams in a day. Thank you so much for watching. I'd love to hear your ideas for high protein meals in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.